Vivian was kidnapped by her husband Bruce, who was in heavy debt and planned to kill her for the insurance payout. He told her, "I married you only for your family's fortune." Vivian's heart shattered. His mistress, Olivia, pushed Vivian to the ground and told her that Bruce had been cheating on her long before. Bruce poured gasoline all around Vivian, and as she begged him desperately, he kicked her away. Olivia took out a lighter and set the gasoline on fire. Vivian struggled and screamed in the flames, and just as she was about to lose hope, her brother Jack rushed in and lifted her up. But at that moment, the ceiling above them collapsed. Vivian was reborn and returned to the day 3 months earlier when she eloped with Bruce. She picked up a wooden stick, intending to take revenge on Bruce, but her brother Jack arrived and stopped her. He hugged her waist and wouldn't let her elope with Bruce. He asked her, "Do you really hate me that much?" In her past life, Vivian had listened to her cousin Lily's slander and avoided Jack's love. In this rebirth, she didn't want to run away anymore, so she kissed Jack in front of everyone. However, he pushed her away, misunderstanding that she was begging for mercy in this way. Bruce thought Vivian would plead for him, but instead, she suggested throwing him to the dogs. She pretended to faint, and Jack picked her up. She opened one eye and secretly glanced at him. Lily's attempt to sow discord failed, leaving her furious. Jack carried Vivian back home, and she remembered how he had rushed into the fire to save her without regard for his own safety. She hugged him tightly and said, "We'll always be together from now on." He kissed her lips, but was surprised that she didn't resist today. In the past, she had always hated his love and even called him a pervert. He thought Vivian was just deceiving him, so he left in sadness. The next day, Vivian learned from the maids that Jack had been making her breakfast every morning. In her previous life, on the day she married Bruce, she was taken back to Jack's house and locked up. Jack knew that Bruce's intentions were impure, so he had tried to persuade her not to marry him. But she didn't believe him and angrily smashed all the breakfast he had made. Bruce came up with another plan to elope with Vivian. Lily took pictures of them together and gave them to Jack's secretary, Olivia. When Jack saw the photos, he was furious, thinking that Vivian had deceived him again. However, in reality, although Vivian pretended to comply with Bruce, she tricked him into a room full of fierce dogs. She told Bruce there is a secret exit in the room. She pushed Bruce into the room, where he was immediately surrounded by the dogs. He quickly climbed up to the ceiling and begged Vivian for help, but she picked up a whip and lashed him several times. Lily arrived with Jack and saw Vivian fiercely beating Bruce. Then, Vivian hugged Jack, acting cute, and kissed his cheek. Vivian made it clear that she didn't want to marry Bruce and suggested that Jack kick Lily out of the house. Lily sought Olivia's help, and Olivia advised her to team up with Bruce. Lily then put a sleeping drug in Vivian's porridge, hoping to trick her into spending the night with Bruce. Vivian took a sip of the porridge and immediately fainted. Lily turned around to call Bruce, but Vivian suddenly opened her eyes, spat out the porridge she had in her mouth, and knocked Lily unconscious with an alarm clock. Later that night, Bruce came to the room as arranged. The room was dark, and he couldn't see the woman's face in bed, but he immediately stripped off his clothes and kissed her. Vivian secretly recorded a video of Bruce passionately kissing Lily. Jack also drank the porridge, unaware that Lily had already laced it with an aphrodisiac. He ran into Vivian at the door, and she took him into a room. She intended to tell him that she had seen through Lily and Bruce's plot, but Jack pinned her on the bed and kissed her deeply. He took off his suit jacket, planning to kiss her further, but she knocked him out. Although she loved Jack deeply, she wanted to take revenge first and deal with all her enemies. The next day, when Bruce woke up, he saw Vivian in the room and assumed that they had slept together the previous night. She told Bruce, "Today, we will hold the engagement ceremony as planned. Jack is just my neighbor and older brother. Before my mother passed away, she asked him to take good care of me, but I don't love him." These words happened to be overheard by Jack at the door. He angrily stormed into the room, but Bruce had already disappeared. Vivian told Jack that she wanted to expose Bruce's true nature at the engagement banquet and ruin his reputation. But Jack didn't believe her and planned to lock her in the room. In order to escape, she climbed down a long ladder, but missed a step and fell. Fortunately, Jack caught her. At her request, he agreed to let her go and attend the engagement ceremony. Later, Lily arrived at Jack's house with her parents. She had been thrown out of the house by Vivian before she woke up in the morning, so she had been under the impression that she had slept with Jack last night. She pulled out the video from the previous night, but Jack told her, "The man kissing you in the video isn't me, it's Bruce." Lily had nothing to say. Jack ordered his servants to kick Lily and her parents out of the house and cut off all financial support to their family. When Vivian's mother passed away, her uncle was unwilling to adopt her, and with no other options, Vivian was finally taken in by Jack. Lily's father slapped her, blaming her for ruining everything. Vivian attended the engagement ceremony and saw Bruce and his mother. She remembered how, in her past life, when she was severely ill with a fever, her mother-in-law had scolded her and ordered her to wash clothes and cook immediately. Vivian swore to take revenge on this malicious mother-in-law in this life. She announced that she would give Bruce a subsidiary worth $100 million as an engagement gift, which made him extremely happy. Just then, Lily and her parents arrived at the ceremony, demanding that Bruce take responsibility for her. Bruce denied having sex with Lily, but Vivian slapped him and tore up the subsidiary contract on the spot, causing Bruce to break down. His mother demanded that Lily provide evidence, but Lily was unwilling to show the video because she didn't want to ruin her own reputation. However, Jack appeared and said, "I have evidence." He shared the video of Bruce passionately kissing Lily with all the guests. Bruce was left speechless, and Jack said to him, "From today on, Vivian is severing all ties with you." Bruce tried to win Vivian back, and she remembered how, in her past life, Bruce had conspired with Olivia to steal Jack's corporation. So, she decided to use a soft approach to control Bruce for now. Jack became jealous because he thought that Vivian still had feelings for Bruce. After Bruce left, Jack forcefully kissed Vivian, and this scene was accidentally witnessed by Olivia. Jack believed that Vivian had deceived him multiple times, but she had no way of explaining herself because she couldn't tell him the truth about her rebirth. The driver told Vivian that Jack was planning to invest in the pharmaceutical industry, which reminded her of how he had been embroiled in a fake drug scandal in their past life. Suspecting Olivia's involvement, she decided to join the company to protect Jack. To bypass security, she disguised herself as a delivery girl bringing Jack lunch, but Olivia instructed the receptionist to bully her. The receptionist mocked Vivian for being a poor delivery girl trying to seduce Jack for status, then shoved her and ordered her to leave. Just then, Vivian spotted Jack and immediately pretended to fall to the ground, crying out. Jack quickly intervened, stopping the receptionist's bullying and picking Vivian up in his arms. Smugly, Vivian stuck her tongue out at the receptionist. To punish the employee, Jack ordered her to clean 3 floors of the building. Vivian then told Jack, "I want to work at your company. I majored in medicine in college and can help you expand into the pharmaceutical industry." Jack agreed. Outside the company, Vivian ran into Bruce, who was holding a bouquet of roses. Coincidentally, Jack saw this scene from upstairs and felt jealous again. Although Vivian accepted Bruce's roses, she later threw them away. Feeling frustrated, Jack drank himself into a drunken stupor. Olivia invited him to her place, but he pushed her hand away and rejected her. He then happened to see Bruce flirting with another woman. Bruce scoffed, "I got tired of Vivian a long time ago. She's dull and boring, nothing compared to you. I only gave her flowers this morning to get money out of her." Furious, Jack punched Bruce hard. Terrified of offending Jack, Bruce slapped himself in apology, but Jack was unmoved. During the conflict, Bruce was caught by Olivia. He was instantly captivated by her beauty. When Jack returned home, he saw Vivian fresh out of the shower and couldn't resist stepping forward to kiss her. The next day, Vivian went to company and opposed Olivia's plan to collaborate with the pharmaceutical company. Everyone believed Vivian was just an intern and had no right to question Olivia's decision. However, she pointed out that the company's equipment was all secondhand, and internal corruption was severe, making it highly likely that they would cut corners in drug production, thus compromising quality. She then introduced herself, saying, "I graduated from Oxford University with dual degrees in international finance and pharmaceutical science." "Olivia, what was your major?" Olivia was infuriated. Jack walked into the conference room and clarified that he and Olivia were merely colleagues, urging employees to stop spreading rumors about them. He praised Vivian and appointed her as the new head of the pharmaceutical project. Realizing she had no chance with Jack, Olivia decided to take his fortune instead. Meanwhile, Bruce was in trouble due to his massive debt from loan sharks. Desperate to repay it, he invited Vivian to dinner, hoping she could use her connections to help his pharmaceutical company secure the project with Jack's group. Secretly, Olivia took photos of them dining together. During the meal, Vivian told Bruce, "If you want this project, you must first upgrade your company's pharmaceutical equipment. This will be a hefty investment, and you might need to mortgage your property and company." Bruce agreed. Later, Olivia showed the photos to Jack, but this time, he wasn't fooled and stated that he trusted Vivian. Bruce soon mortgaged his subsidiary and house to secure the funds needed for equipment upgrades. However, Vivian then told him, "Because of your scandal with Lily, which was widely covered by the media, your reputation is in shambles. No company wants to collaborate with you. If you marry Lily and take responsibility for her, your reputation will recover, and then you'll get the project." Bruce took her advice and married Lily. As promised, Vivian signed a contract with him. Overjoyed, Bruce grabbed her hand, just as Jack walked in and saw the scene. Jack had already discovered that Vivian was deceiving Bruce. She never intended to collaborate with him and had given him a fake contract. Vivian was stunned and flustered, almost losing her balance, but Jack wrapped his arm around her waist and said, "Don't worry, I will always have your back." Lily slapped Bruce after discovering that his company had not been shortlisted for Jack Group's new project collaboration. Bruce called Vivian, but her phone was turned off. He completely broke down. He was now utterly bankrupt. At that moment, the debt collectors arrived at his house. Bruce fell to his knees, begging them for a few more days, but they kicked him to the ground and mercilessly beat him. In a desperate attempt to save himself, Bruce offered his wife, Lily, to them. Lily knelt before them, took out her bank card, and said, "I have $10,000 in my account. Please let me go." The debt collectors agreed to spare them for now, but only granted a 3-day extension. Olivia was actually an undercover agent planted by Jack's older brother, Tom. Her original plan was to marry Jack and then divorce him to obtain shares of his company. Now that her scheme had failed, they decided to frame Jack and ruin his reputation. Bruce wanted to talk to Vivian, but she ignored him, and her bodyguards shoved him to the ground. Olivia approached Bruce and proposed that they join forces to take down Vivian together. Bruce agreed and shook her hand. A few days later, with Olivia and Tom's help, Bruce secured a collaboration project with Jack's company. Overjoyed, he grabbed Olivia's hand, just as Lily walked in and accused him of cheating on her. Vivian, who had secretly followed Lily to the restaurant, also saw Bruce and Olivia together. She had worked hard to arrange Bruce and Lily's marriage, yet now he had still teamed up with Olivia. A sense of unease crept into her. She worried she wouldn't be able to change the fate of her past life. But what alarmed her even more was that Bruce had now become the legal representative of another pharmaceutical company, the very same company that had manufactured counterfeit drugs in her previous life, leading to Jack's downfall. She recorded a video of Bruce and Olivia, but they spotted her. On her way home, Vivian was surrounded by 2 masked thugs. Before she could react, they struck her with a wooden club, knocking her unconscious. She was kidnapped. Bruce slapped her hard and even attempted to violate her. Just then, Jack called Olivia, urging her to return to the company immediately. Bruce warned Vivian not to try escaping, or the kidnappers would kill her. Jack discovered that Vivian was missing and sent all his men to search for her. Olivia returned to the company, pretending not to know where Vivian was. She told Jack Vivian might have run away with Bruce again. This new pharmaceutical company we selected was approved by Vivian, and I found out today that the legal representative of this company is Bruce. They might still be entangled with each other. Meanwhile, Vivian had managed to break a bowl on the cardboard box and was trying to use the shards to cut the ropes binding her hands. Because Jack was determined to find Vivian, Olivia ordered the kidnappers to kill her immediately. One of the thugs wanted to strangle Vivian with a rope, but she kicked him and knocked him to the ground. The other thugs tried to stop her, but she was highly skilled in martial arts and quickly knocked them down. As she was about to escape, one of the thugs pulled out a gun and aimed it at her. Vivian thought she would die, but the thug was suddenly knocked down by a cardboard box. Jack walked in, angry and misunderstanding that Vivian might still have feelings for Bruce. However, when he saw the wounds on her hands, his anger softened. He gently picked her up and carried her away. After they left, a mysterious man made a phone call to his master, saying, "I found the young lady's lost daughter." In the car, Jack held Vivian tightly, apologizing for not protecting her and for not trusting her enough. He told her, from now on, I will always stand by you." When Vivian returned safely, Olivia was surprised. Vivian stopped Jack from signing the supplementary agreement with the pharmaceutical company. Olivia said to Jack, "Vivian is Bruce's accomplice, so I suggest you kick her out." But Jack slapped her, saying, "Because you kidnapped Vivian, you will be suspended pending investigation." Olivia tried to argue, but Vivian turned around, smiled, and gave her the finger, which made Olivia furious. Jack told Vivian, "I already knew Olivia is Tom's spy. Tom resents me for inheriting the group and has been holding a grudge against me." The next day, Vivian fell asleep in the office. Jack covered her with a blanket, and she woke up, pulling him closer, saying, "I like you." They began to kiss passionately, but Jack's assistant suddenly entered the office, interrupting them. The assistant told them, "A large number of patients have complained that we are making substandard drugs, and the group's stock price has plummeted. Although we conducted a comprehensive inspection of the pharmaceutical company's products, a batch of drugs was released on the day we started cooperating, and these drugs were old stock, possibly the source of the counterfeit drugs." Later, Tom told Jack, "The authorities are going to suspend your investigation. Step down, and I'll take over your CO position." Olivia presented Jack with a suspension notice. Jack now only had 3 days to prove his innocence. Olivia hoped that Tom would fulfill his promise to marry her, and he agreed. But behind her back, he was dating another heiress, Mary, and even went to a hotel with her. Vivian sent Olivia a text message on Tom's behalf, asking her to meet him in the hotel room. Tom pushed Mary onto the bed, but Olivia suddenly barged in, furious, thinking Tom was going to propose to her today. Tom told Mary, "I won't marry Olivia. She's just a secretary and not worthy of me." Olivia was agitated, but he slapped her hard. He dragged her to the corridor, where Olivia expressed how much she had helped him with the counterfeit drug incident, but now he had betrayed her. Everything they said was recorded by Vivian. Later, Olivia called Vivian, saying, "I have a lot of evidence that can prove Jack's innocence. Let's meet at the tea house in the suburbs tomorrow." But Jack told Vivian, "Olivia loves Tom very much, and she won't easily give you the evidence. If I really end up in prison, I will cut off all ties with you to make sure you are not implicated." It was then that Vivian realized that in the previous life, Jack had severed ties with her because he had discovered he was in a crisis and did so to protect her. After returning home, she drank a lot of alcohol. She remembered how, in the last life, she always misunderstood Jack, even refusing to visit him when he was sick. She cried bitterly, feeling extremely guilty. Jack carried the drunkard to bed. She held on to him and said, "I'm sorry, I misunderstood you so much." After saying that, she wrapped her arms around his neck and kissed him. But he pushed her away because he didn't want to take advantage of her while she was drunk. She asked, "Are you impotent? You're really not a man." Jack was provoked and leaned down, kissing her passionately. Tom apologized to Olivia, begging her not to give the evidence to Vivian. Olivia demanded that he marry her, but he refused. When he saw Vivian arriving at the tea house, he immediately hid. Tom contacted hitmen, ordering them to kill both Olivia and Vivian that day. Shortly after, a fire broke out in the tea house. Olivia and Vivian climbed out of the room, only to find all the doors were locked. Just then, Jack arrived, struggling to open the door and saved Vivian. Olivia also tried to escape, but was struck on the head by falling debris. She begged them to save her. Vivian recalled how, in the previous life, Olivia had set the fire, trying to kill her. She didn't know whether she should save this woman who had once tried to kill her. The next day, Tom hosted a birthday party for himself. His grandfather publicly announced that Tom would become the heir to the group, and he was very happy. However, Vivian sent a video of Tom and Olivia talking in the hotel to all the guests. The grandfather was furious and asked Tom what was going on. Tom replied, "Olivia is lying. She's trying to blackmail me." The grandfather demanded that Jack provide solid evidence. Vivian walked into the banquet hall with Olivia, who removed her mask, revealing the scars on her face. Tom was stunned. He had thought Olivia had died in the fire. Olivia presented the evidence in her hand, exposing how Tom and Bruce had colluded to produce substandard drugs and frame Jack. Tom was so terrified that his legs trembled and he knelt on the ground. His grandfather angrily said, "From today on, you are no longer part of this family." But Tom told the guests, Jack cannot inherit the group because he has an incestuous relationship with his sister Vivian. He is morally unfit for the position. Jack responded, Vivian and I are not blood-related siblings, and her mother made a marriage promise to us before she passed away. It's not incest. However, the grandfather firmly opposed their relationship, insisting that Vivian, being an orphan, was not worthy of Jack. Just then, the wealthy local magnate Michael walked in and said, "Who says my granddaughter is not worthy of Jack?" Michael's son then revealed, "I am Vivian's maternal uncle. My sister ran away when she was pregnant, and we've been searching for this child all these years." Soon after, Tom, Bruce, and Olivia were all handed over to the police for investigation. Michael told Vivian that, during a time of political turmoil, her father had sacrificed his life, and her mother had fled to avoid persecution. Vivian had always believed that she had been abandoned by her family, but now she learned that so many people had loved her all along. A few days later, Vivian appeared in front of Jack, dressed in a wedding gown and holding a bouquet of roses. They ran towards each other. He took out a diamond ring, knelt down, and proposed to her. She accepted. He smiled as he placed the ring on her finger, then kissed her deeply with all his affection.